Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining today. We've got a special Cue Ball webinar coming up. We have Nagesh, Senior Solution Architect, who is joining today, and he is going to take you guys through Graviton, how to save costs with Graviton processes on AWS. So without much more ado, I'm going to pass you over to Nagesh and you can learn how to save on your cloud costs.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for the quick introduction, and thank you everybody for joining. Where you are based, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Today we'll be covering Graviton on Qball, and let's quickly give let's give a couple of seconds for everybody to join in 30 odd seconds, and then we will get started. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started. I hope everybody has joined in. Just to start, okay, at Qball, we do understand that, okay, the business has an imperative need to harness the latest technologies, okay, and make sure that we optimize the resources that are at disposal, correct? So what we do at Qball is basically empower organization to embrace basically modern application development paradigms seamlessly, okay, and time to time we kind of, as new technologies comes up, okay, we make sure that we adopt to that. And what we do is basically we do a couple of things by leveraging all these the latest technologies. uh, we do kind of make sure that, okay, serverless compute technologies, container orchestrators, okay, all these kind of something which enable the businesses to build, deploy, and kind of scale applications with with unparalleled agility and efficiency, correct? And that what makes your businesses kind of of the stay ahead basically, correct? And what we would today look at it basically how organizations are unlocking the potential of Graviton, or basically how organization can unlock the potential of Graviton on Qball, correct? How these kind of instances or the processing units can help you increase your price to performance ratios or for all your workloads. Yeah, it doesn't matter, it is your kind of data processing, your ETL, or your ML or AI kind of workloads. Irrespective of the workloads, you will see your performance, price to performance ratios go up. Now, I'll quickly get started with basically what we are going to talk today. The first one, as I said that, okay, we will try to talk about the price to performance ratio. At the same time, why Graviton is how Graviton actually brings down the cost. Yeah, one of the things is basically it brings down the overall processing units, and that's the reason you see the cost. Okay, and and Gravitons are somewhere priced at superior to, yeah, the AMD and Intel competitors, okay, on AWS, because these are silicon which was developed by AWS. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Uh, it helps you kind of optimize your performance and scale, and definitely without compromising the efficiency because of the saving of the cost that you are having with Graviton. Yeah. Then as you save cost, yeah, the cost savings which you have made, those can be used at other kind of workloads, because you have the money, the spare money to kind of spend at other use cases. And as we have seen in the last couple of years, there has been a lot of development in terms of the AI ML use cases, and as you can save on the traditional use cases, you would be able to kind of spend that on your ML and AI. And definitely Graviton actually speeds up and make sure that those can be perform much better on Graviton instances, the ML and AI use cases. Now, before we get into all the goods about Qbol and other aspects, so I would like to give a quick overview of Qbol. Uh, Qbol is something which is cloud native, and it is one of the first few platforms which came as Hadoop as a service. Yeah, and cloud native is something which is part of our DNA, and we are a data platform with open source. So we have all the open source. What about data processing engines that we have? The Apache Spark, the Trino, the Prestos, the Airflow, the Hadoop, the Hive. Everything is kind of open source, and we believe in making sure that open source whatever we use is open source. And our basically founders were one of those who started the Hive engine and all those stuff, correct? So that's something that is part of the DNA. Market adoption, we have a very broad-based customers, and we have a diverse industry, right from let's say IT, pharmaceutical, you have manufacturing, you have travel industry, pretty much everybody that you can think of from a domain perspective we have. And of course, in different location, we have customers worldwide. Then customer first, we definitely make sure that our customers actually save money. They don't kind of overspend. And as we are talking today, that's one of the things paramount, correct? We make sure that customers actually save money, and we have saved more than $600 million over a period of time and this is growing as we speak. Then our platform is kind of proven and tested. We are processing more than an exabyte of data every month, yeah, and that's growing as we speak. We have a global presence. We have a 24/7 support, and we have a free trial available, so you can just log in into the system and kind of get going from day one, correct? Then we have a very strong employee tech team, and basically wealth of data experience that you have. Okay, so sorry for the pause. Okay, so then employees, as I said, we have a very strong tech team with a wealth of data experience, correct? Uh, and since we have been in open source, I think, and we have been a pioneers in open source. That's one of the reasons we have a very strong tech team. Uh, moving ahead, who uses Qbol? Yeah, so we have seen numerous data platforms, and in the market today, we have a number of data platforms like from all our competitors. Yeah, but what is that? Who can use the data platform? And that's the first paramount question that comes into everybody's mind, because a couple of tools which are or data platforms which are available purely from a data engineer perspective or a data, let's say, the data scientist perspective. But Qbol is something which can be used by everybody in an enterprise, everybody in the organization. Yeah? So it could be a data engineer, it could be a data scientist, it could be a business executive. Uh, everybody on in the enterprise can start use Qbol, and this is one of the reasons that we call Qbol as a self-service platform. There's a minimal overhead in terms of managing the data platform. So as per our kind of based on our experience, what we have seen is we need just basically and one admin for managing some 200 odd nodes, and so that's a pretty good statistics. Yeah, again, that helps you kind of save cost on your maintenance and otherwise. Okay? Now let's kind of get into the Graviton, basically, correct? So it's a custom built hardware by AWS, as I spoke in the beginning, based on ARM architecture, and definitely it's helped you to save a lot of costs on the cloud workloads. Price to performance, what we have seen is basically it delivers up to 40%, and I'll as I said, I'll run a quick demo and you will see somewhere around 15-20% of uh, uh, improvements in terms of performance, of course, and this is not fine-tuned and other aspects, yeah, compared to the x86 or Intel rivals. Full support, we at Qball we do support both Graviton 2 and Graviton 3 instance types on Qball. Now, what are the challenges, correct? So why Graviton is relevant in today's world, correct? After the pandemic, I think things have slowed down. Everybody wants to save costs, correct? And that's one of the reason that Graviton is more relevant as of today. So if you see at the various challenges, correct, supposed to make a choice, basically make sure that okay, in pre-Graviton, either you kind of scale up, you if you want to scale up, you have to spend more, or kind of put a cap on the big data ops to make sure that you can keep your cost low, correct. You have internal conflicts, make sure that okay, what you want from a business team perspective against what you want from a tech team, and you are always against kind of fighting between what the business wants and what the tech team wants. And the final one is basically companies losing out. Now if you see in this, accept the high prices of high cloud costs basically, or constrained by big data operation. This is something which is has a strong correlation with the first one, where you have to make a choice between if you want to scale up or you want to kind of put a cap and kind of restrict on innovation. So either you have to spend a lot of dollars or you kind of cap on your innovation, correct. And with Graviton you can kind of you can do both, correct. You can kind of start innovating at the same time, kind of not compromising on your workloads. Now here a couple of things. Okay, I'll talk about Graviton as well as Qball other features which will help you save cost. Yeah, one is Qball has got Qball Cost Explorer. This is something a unique feature on data platform. Usually on data platform you will get a dollar bill at the end of the day, whatever the monthly bill or the daily bill and other things, correct. But what we have is a Qball Cost Explorer, which gives you a very granular level details about cost optimization, correct, or it will give you details about each to the level of job, the lowest level, correct, right from the account perspective, going to the cluster, and each of those aspects, it goes to the level of job, and it helps you kind of understand where you can save the cost. It does provide you some optimization techniques as well, or it will tell you where you can save the cost. So this is a very unique feature. It will help you kind of optimize the jobs which might be consuming a lot of resources, and doesn't matter you're using Graviton or simple Intel or x86, you will be able to use Qball Cost Explorer to save the cost. Yeah. And with Graviton, you can be doing more with less power, and definitely with sustainability targets. Yeah. And again, going back, reallocating with new budgets, basically that's what we spoke about in the first slide that we were talking about. Once you start saving with using Qball Cost Explorer or the Graviton or the GB3s, basically all of them will help you kind of save the cost and use that the budget that is saved for your innovation and ML and AI use cases. Migrating migrating the workloads. Yeah, in case of Qball will support you to migrate the workloads, but otherwise there is nothing much to be done from a customer perspective or a workload migration. The same Spark job which runs on x86 or Intel will run on Graviton. We have extracted out all the nitty-gritties or all the complexities of running the jobs on Graviton. So we have already done that heavy lifting, and you will be able to kind of run those jobs on Graviton directly. Consistent monitoring, just to make sure that okay, you have cost savings on top of whatever we are giving you with Qball Cost Explorer. And one more feature that I have not mentioned here is basically workload aware auto scaling. which helps you, wherein Qbol knows that when to kind of upscale and downscale, uh, and using those internally, Qbol actually helps you save the cost, because there is a cost which is involved of bringing up an instance or kind of uh, and once your task is completed to bring down the instance, correct, there is a cost involved to that. We try to reduce that cost using the workload aware auto scaling. So what we are saying is basically with all those features which Qbol provides, Graviton on top of it is an icing on a cake, basically, where it will help you reduce the cost even further. Now, what are the use cases? And rather than use cases, how do you use it, correct? First of them is basically no recompiling. As we said, we have done all the heavy lifting, and you don't need to kind of spend time or resources to make sure that you start using Graviton from day one, correct? That's one. High performance computing, and one of the things is basically the advantage that you get is basically, since it is priced at the same, pretty much at the same levels as the Intel and other AMD process, so you don't have to kind of uh, probably rely on others until unless the software is not supported, correct? But you can use Graviton for any high performance computing. High-end gaming definitely makes sense with Graviton, yeah, with the cost benefits that you have. And of course, we are talking about basically machine learning, and model inferences is one of the things that can be run on Graviton. Inferences are something which require comparatively lesser kind of resources as compared to a training, ML training or AI training. You should be able to use Graviton for inferences of ML. And this is one of the research paper that you can find where they have compared Graviton instances against Intel and AMD, and they have found that there are considerable cost benefits when you're using Graviton against Intel or AMD. Now, these are various instance types that are available, and all of them would be available on Qbol. Right now, there is something which are available on from a testing purpose. So T4G. So I'll just describe quickly what these instances are. T4G, general workloads, and these are microservices. They are similar to the T instances that are available on AWS right now. C, more compute optimized. X2G, more memory optimized, and basically used for caches, EDA analytics. LS4, again, storage optimized. LM, basically storage performance for databases and other aspects. G5 is for GPU instances, correct? So it's, if you look at these instance types, correct, AWS has brought instances similar to what they have, but more on Graviton side of it. Just to recap quickly, what do we get with Graviton on Qbol, correct? Unmatched cost efficiency, as we will see in the demo quickly, that you have definitely you do save on the kind of price to performance, which we have seen around 40%, reducing the your cost, correct? Versatile in performance, then definitely what are other areas in which you can use Graviton? We have seen as high performance computing, ML inference, as we just spoke about a few minutes back, where you can actually reduce the overall cost. And definitely one of the benefits that which we don't see at our end, which is seen at the hyperscaler level, is basically lower energy consumption, which helps you in ESG or basically sustainability goals of the organizations. And future ready innovation, we have spoken this again and again, that this is one of the important things which is uh, uh, nowadays very important, where you can save the cost using all the other features, along with other features of Qbol, the cost explorer, the workload aware auto scaling, the spot instances usage, and along with that, Graviton is a new addition to saving your overall efficiency and cost, which will help you kind of spend that money onto your innovation, which would be the AI/ML projects. So just quickly diving into the Qbol architecture before we do a quick demo. Qbol has got three pieces. Yeah, you have got your Qbol control plane, the middle part of over here. Uh, the left side is basically your Qbol data plane, yeah, where your data is stored as well as your storage is available. Your right side is something which is your Cubol consumer layer, or all the consumption that happens. Yeah, I'll just talk about the middle layer, which is the Cubol control plane, which is more like a software as a service. You will have, as I spoke on the first slide, who uses Cubol, yeah, who uses Cubol data platform. So we have tools which are available for each of the different type of users. So those are notebooks, workspaces, you have dashboards, and then these are various engines which are available like Apache Spark, Presto, Hadoop Hadoop and Hive from a legacy perspective. Then we have Airflow, we have TensorFlow from your GPU workloads, your basically AI workloads, and then you can use ML for your Spark using Spark. We have very good security and security controls and governance model, both on the platform as well as on the data. As you move to the left, we don't move your data from your cloud into Cubol. We keep your data where it is, and we move the processing to your cloud. So if you select a Spark cluster, it will get spin on your cluster. It will get spin on your VPC, yeah? And then it will use the data which is stored on your basically buckets, which are in S3, buckets objects which are in your S3. On the right side, you see the consumption layer where you can actually get onto the Cubol platform, use the various tools which are available to to kind of query the data, to write your ETL, and stuff like that. Yeah, so anybody can get on to the Cubol platform. And as I said at the beginning, that this is a self-service platform, so they should be able to run their workloads. We have got APIs, we have got SDKs to integrate with your code if you need. And then we have got ODBC and JDBC connectors, and we have native connectivity with Tableau. We being part of IDEA, we have Yellowfin, which is our in-house BI platform, which wherein you can connect using ODBC or a JDBC connector. So this is at the high level how Cubol looks like. Let's quickly go into a quick demo. Let's quickly look at the demo. Let me see. I have already logged in. Okay, hopefully the cluster is still running. Yep. So what I have done is I'll quickly show you the clusters, okay, so that you understand what I am trying to do over here. So I'll click on clusters. I'll go to the manage clusters straight away, where you can see the various clusters, how it is configured. So I've created two clusters. One is basically the traditional Spark traditional cluster, which is on M5A instances, and then basically the Spark on Graviton instances. I have picked up the similar kind of instances. So if you see here, I'll go click on edit. So I have used a Spark 3.3 on both of them, both of these clusters. M5N for our master nodes. For the worker nodes, I have picked up M5A in the traditional Spark. And if let me go to manage clusters again, I'll just try to compare both of them. So give me a second. So this is the cluster with Graviton. Now you see here, this is M5N again, but this is M6GD 2x large with similar kind of 8 cores and 32 gigs of RAM. So if you see 8 cores and 32 gigs, M5A, and this is M6GD. Okay, and one of the other things is we have got GP3. We will talk about GP3 in coming webinars, but that's again one of the things which will help you in improving your job performances. So once you have that, what I've done is I have actually loaded movie lens data, and that's I'm just querying the data which is in ratings table, and it has got some 20 million odd records, and I've done a couple of runs already. So this is something which will run on the traditional Spark, that is traditional hardware, and this is the one which will get executed on the latest Graviton. So let's quickly look at it. What I have seen is somewhere around 15 to 20% of performance improvement. So let's give it, this doesn't take more than a minute, somewhere around a minute. So it's still waiting. Let's wait for a few seconds for get the responses. Okay. So you can, so this is our analyze and this is one of the best tools for anybody who has got Spark knowledge or a SQL knowledge rather than Spark SQL. They can come onto this over here and kind of write their simple SQL queries. Run on Spark. Right now I'm running on Spark, but it can be executed on Trino or any other engines that we have got, Hive or Trino, either of them. And the same query could be executed on Trino and others. So this one got executed in 53 seconds. As you see, this is the traditional processing, while this one, which is on Graviton, is has executed on 47. I've not done any tuning anywhere. I'm just simply executing it the same query on both these instances. So if you see, as I said, all the heavy lifting has been done for you to run the same thing from your normal processing units to Graviton. Yeah. If you see consistently, I've executed this almost like 10-15 times today for the demo, but you see there's almost like 15% improvement in terms of performance. But as the data increases and as the processing and as there is a lot of IO and other aspects come into play, this performance actually increases to somewhere around 40 odd percent. That's where it can go, and that's and as I said, as the load increases, correct, and that is where you will see more and more performance improvements. Okay, that's it for today. There's a short webinar where we discussed about how Graviton actually helps you in saving the cost. A quick demo of how the performance improvement, how you can see the performance improvement. As I said, this is a simple queries that I have executed, no performance tuning. I've done nothing. It's seamless. You can move your all your workloads which can be executed on x86 Intel processes onto Graviton. So all the heavy lifting has been done by us already. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks a lot. See you next time.